Back on Melbourne land after a magnificent European adventure over the last month. And I have been sharing that there were some realizations and some lessons that I discovered whilst away and working. So I want to set the tone for this, and it's about my realization of working smarter, not necessarily harder. And I'm sure this is going to be relatable to you all in some way. So if you do not know me, my name is Sarah, and I am the founder of Rise with Sarah Sincona, where I mentor business development managers that work in property management businesses. I did recently return from a month-long holiday where we went to Paris, Amsterdam, London, Sicily, the Amalfi Coast, and Rome. And this was the trip that was postponed due to the pandemic. Now, as a BDM, one of my personal goals was to actually do a European holiday, and I had booked it in. I was going to be going solo at that time, and now I experienced it differently with going away with my partner. So there were some valuable insights that I want to dive in a bit today on some things that I discovered with myself. So I want to talk about work-life balance and the integration of our work and life, because my view and belief and reality of it is that it is intertwined. I don't view my work and my life as separate. I love what I do. I had the same mentality when I was working in property management as a business development manager, as I generally loved what I did. So if it meant that one morning I started at 8 o'clock or I finished at 8 o'clock, it was not detrimental to my life because I generally loved what I did. Now, I set some things up before I did go away, though. I always knew that I wanted to do the whole traveling while I was working. And I had someone amazing, Alan Bathgate, who did my scheduling of my content for my social media while I was away. So I didn't have to worry about that. It did its thing. The content we did together before I went away, so that I knew that that was just going to be going out, because I still wanted to educate all of my beautiful clients and provide value and knowledge. And then I was responding at a completely different time zone with messages or emails. I still ran my BDM mentor program, and luckily and thankfully enough, the time zones permitted myself to do this. And I just thought, wow, with the day and age that we live in now, how amazing is it that we can automate so many things? We can leverage off other people's expertise and experience so that things still work seamlessly, and we still have a system and process in place to be able to do our work and to serve people while still living the life that we want. So I had made the decision that I was going to be working while I was traveling, because my work is part of my life. So this was one of the things that I wanted to share with you. The other thing I wanted to talk about is I actually have a increased productivity and energy that I've had some time to reflect and recharge while still being able to have the ability to work whilst I was overseas. Now, some might say, yeah, you just had a month on holiday, but I've just advised that I was still working whilst I was overseas. It's just I was there exploring a different environment whilst I was still working. Now, coming back, I had this feeling of happiness, joy, excitement that I was going to be able to see my friends and family, see my clients in person, get back to people that had reached out wanting to catch up when I got back. So I thought that was super amazing. The other thing I wanted to talk about is leveraging technology. So the digital world, digital age, there's so many things that we can automate now. And I was lucky enough that I had certain things that I put in place. So one of the boundaries that I did have is I didn't have my personal mobile phone. I had set my voice recording up to guide people to where they could contact me, and I was monitoring my emails. Now they got an automated reply. It said that I was going to be a bit slower and delayed, but this knew and set the expectations for anyone that was trying to reach out that, hey, I'm overseas, I'll get back to you, but might be a bit slower at responding. So utilizing technology and your calendar that way was super helpful for me. The other thing was delegating. So like I said, I delegated some tasks for Ellen where she had scheduled up all of my content. I also utilized my amazing remote assistant who helped me with anything that needed to be done really quickly that perhaps I didn't have the time to do then, and everything just worked seamlessly that way. So, and the importance here was I was clear on, why I was going away, what I wanted to do. I had my systems and processes in place so that I could still enjoy my European holiday while still running my business and servicing my clients. So really, really key things there. I still had my care for my clients and my customers. So whether this was through messaging, whether this was through emails, I was getting back to them and I was still nurturing relationships while I was away. And I actually onboarded 5 new clients whilst I was working overseas, because I have a responsibility for my business, for my clients, to ensure that they are getting the response that they need from me and that I could welcome them in to my next program, even though I was in a different time zone and I was in a different country. So that was also really helpful. Now, some personal realizations for me. I have always been aware that I am an extroverted person. And although I love my own company and I am exploring more and more hobbies that I would like to do, I love being around people. I feel alive. I feel energized when I'm around people. And I think that is the biggest thing that I missed whilst I was away. Although I was seeing people every day, like strangers in the street, or we would meet some people on a bus or a train, or when we're doing a tour, I missed my people. And when I'm talking about my people, it's my community. And I think we can all explore within ourselves that we have a sense of wanting to feel involved in a community. Now, this could look like for you following a football team. It could be that perhaps you are religious. It could be that you are spiritual. It can be the real estate industry community that we have in the property management community. It could be with your networking community or events that you go to. For me, it was definitely, I missed my friends, my family, my beautiful clients, and all of my partnerships that I've created within my business and advocates for my business. So that was definitely a big lesson for me, is that I love being around people and I thrive when I am around people. So what this looks like going forward for me is definitely wanting to explore, working in different environments, because that is super helpful when I'm around other people to support the business side as well. So that was definitely a realization. The other realization is that I had this sense of achievement for myself, and definitely some proud moments for myself, because it was, like I said, that 4 years waiting of going on this trip. And I had a time to reflect, going, I had set myself a vision and I had set myself a goal that I was doing this trip. And the pinch myself moment was being there going, wow, my vision and my goal had become a reality. Now I'm doing the things that I love to do, which is mentoring business development managers, whilst I'm able to have these experiences in a different country and within a different culture. And coming back now, I definitely want to work smarter. So the ways that I want to explore more is utilizing AI and technology more so in my business. I am also looking at ways to take the program further, where people can actually come on, and it is recorded sessions, because I know that although I've created it outside of hours to not interfere with people's workloads, people have their life and they have their work, and I want to make it super easy and accessible for everyone. And I think that was the other thing. It's, if a different time zone or if a different state, I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to experience what is involved in the program. Key takeaways as well was the differences in culture, the differences in people, the differences in customer service. There was definitely some businesses that did the customer service really well. And then I also experienced some businesses who I felt had left that personalized touch and could have enhanced the experience further, and missed out on, essentially receiving feedback on some experiences throughout the tours, or it could be with a restaurant. And then there was some businesses and some people that we met who just went the extra mile. I'm going to give you a perfect example, and it's something that I will forever be grateful for. Is we were in Taormina, and Taormina is in Sicily, and we stayed at a beautiful B&B, and it was run by a mum and a son who were both Sicilian. Now, the minute we got there, on arrival, we had a bottle of Prosecco. We also had a beautiful homemade cake. The room was spotless. The view was amazing. And they were just so warm and lovely upon greeting us during our stay. Now, we thought that that was amazing. They knew we were celebrating our 2-year anniversary, and they went to the extent to book in to book us in at a beautiful restaurant, and the food was absolutely amazing. Now, again, you think that these two things were so phenomenal. Before we had left that stay, they had made us a specific cake that said happy 2-year anniversary for us. Now, this was just amazing service, and I really want to tell you that this is what it's about. It's about, how we feel when we're having these experiences, or when we are in a moment with someone. It's that feeling that we get, and that heightened experience then becomes a memory that we'll never forget. And I think this can be incorporated into every single business model. So they are some insights from my trip. I will share, a little bit more and more, but I thought I wanted to jump on and say, I am back. I am, yes, recharged. I am full of ideas. I have some deep understandings of myself even more for having this time away, and just utilize and think about how you can work smarter, not harder, within your role or within your businesses. So I've also got some great people coming on for the next YouTube videos. The website is live. There's got so much information there. If you want to explore working with me either this year or in 2024, head to risewithsarahsinconnor.com.au for more information. If you would like to give me a call or email me, my details are fully accessible. And I hope you've enjoyed some insights into my 4-week holiday away.